Welcome back to the Essentially You podcast, all about reinventing your health with safer, cheaper, more effective natural solutions and powerful lifestyle changes so that you become the CEO of your health. I am your host, Dr. Mariza Snyder. Today, I am talking about a topic that many of my readers have asked me to touch upon, and that is why loving your liver is key to hormone balance. Let's be honest, loving up on your body as a whole is key to hormone balance. But today I want to focus on the liver and share some tips and essential oil recipes that can support your liver and ensure that your hormones are running like a fine-tuned machine. Now, I think we all know that we gotta love our liver a little more each day. The last thing that we want is a sluggish liver. And I will talk about some of the symptoms and key indicators of a sluggish liver a little later on, and then what we can do about it on a day-to-day basis. Now, by supporting your liver, we can give our body what it needs to balance our hormones in a very safe manner. And that's why this topic has been such a big part of my focus for the last 15 months with writing my new upcoming book, The Essential Oils Hormone Solution. Have I told you how excited I am to share this book with you? I have created this book to empower you with solutions at your fingertips for stress, anxiety, cravings, low sex drive, fatigue, brain fog, mood swings, and so much more. And it's backed with hardcore research. My bibliography is literally 40 pages long. That is a lot of research articles. And did you know that it is now available for pre-sale? And it would be such an honor if you grabbed a copy not only for yourself, but even for your best friends, because all of my besties are getting a copy, and I know they're excited about it. And when you decide to order or pre-order the book and get your copy of the Essential Oils Hormone Solution, you will get instant access to over $300 in bonuses. Because what's the point of getting a new book without all of the goodies included? So you're gonna get my self-care video series, my best cheat sheets, and the top 5 interviews from the Essential Oil Hormone Summit, and even more bonuses than that. Now, I will have the link to the bonuses and how to buy the book for pre-sale in the show notes so that you can claim all of those goodies. Now, as I write this podcast, I want you to know that I'm actually currently in the middle of a detox. I'm in the middle of my 14-day hormone weight loss detox program. And we're on day 7 of 14 days with over 100 participants. And so far, the results have been incredible. Alex and I are doing it together along with both of our mamas. Even though my program was built mainly for women, even guys need a 14-day reset. And Alex was excited to give his liver a break during the holiday season. Or rather, was it I that was excited that Alex was giving his liver a break during the holiday season? Because I know that the holidays, that Christmas is approaching, there's parties happening, alcohol is flowing, sugar is flowing, and let me tell you, your liver doesn't want any of that. So a big part of this hormone detox is really about removing hormone and liver sabotaging foods. And the program is also about resetting the liver, the gut, your metabolic hormones such as cortisol, insulin, leptin, estrogen, and progesterone. Now, in this whole exploration, I have been asking friends and readers an important question. So here is a quick question for you. Has your weight loss challenge also been accompanied by stress and consistent fatigue, or crazy afternoon or late night cravings, or even impossible to cure insomnia no matter what you've tried? If so, there's a reason for all of this. These 3 symptoms are all linked to a single hormone in your hormone matrix, and when it's out of whack, it can cause things like chronic exhaustion, anxiety, depression, whole body inflammation and pain, caffeine dependence, and stored belly fat, and so much more. This single hormone has been responsible for the majority of the weight loss challenges I've helped women just like you and myself conquer. And that hormone is cortisol, your survival hormone. You see, when cortisol is elevated or even too low, it can cause other hormones in the body to over or under compensate in ways that create stubborn weight that's impossible to lose while also making us feel chronically tired. I know because I've been there myself. When I was struggling with high levels of cortisol and deregulated cortisol levels, rather high at night, low in the morning, and I had all the other things going on in my body, kind of my hormone chaos moment, I had 35 pounds of stubborn weight that I could not lose. I was dieting, I was exercising like a crazy person, and yet I wasn't getting my hormones under control. And what it is when your cortisol levels are either incredibly high or they are disproportionate like mine were, that causes high blood sugar levels and over time can lead to stubborn weight and a fatty liver. And just by bringing cortisol levels back into healthy range, I have seen women not only be able to lose weight without trying, but they've also been able to eliminate the brain fog, sleep normally again, and even reduce symptoms of PMS and menopause. I know because I felt that. I felt that whole shift. Gosh, a great night's sleep. Oh, there were years where I would give anything for that. Well, what bothers me so much about women like yourself and I when it comes to dieting is we often rob our bodies of that vital nutrients, and maybe we get some of the weight off, maybe not. We end up beating ourselves up around it, and oftentimes we don't lose all the weight we want. We end up gaining it back, or even worse, we gain more. So what I really wanted to impart is that it's not your fault if your hormones are out of balance. It's such a big part of the book. It's such a big part of this conversation today. If your cortisol levels are out of range, it doesn't matter what you're doing, your best efforts will be sabotaged. And that's just one of the hormones involved here. We're not even talking about insulin or leptin or estrogen or thyroid hormones. And the reality is that when we're working on weight loss, without doing a full hormone detox, we're actually setting ourselves up for further failure because we tend to throw those hormones off where we really need them to work for us to lose that weight. So every time you try to lose weight without doing a hormone reset or really working on getting those hormones back on track, you find yourself not being able to get your appetite and metabolism regulated in a big way. So in other words, if you don't regulate your hormones on the onset, they often turn against your future efforts to regulate your weight down the line. Now, without doing this critical step, really what happens is that your body begins to work against you. And that was very much the case for me. I was spinning my wheels for years, unable to lose this weight. And it was because I kept trying to diet, I kept trying to crazy exercise, and never once did I look at what it took to get my hormones back on track because they were definitely the big saboteurs. And so all this research went into figuring out how we can do this. And I wanted to create what I consider to be really a jumpstart to get us in the right direction. So this 14-day hormone weight loss detox, I've already got women losing weight, which is so amazing, but it's really about getting to the root cause of that stubborn weight. Now, although this one's running now and it's going to run until it finishes mid-December or so, I wanted to let you know that I will be offering it again in early January or mid-January, I believe, and I'll be sharing that information closer to that date. So if you do want to join me, if you're looking to reset those hormones, looking to get your metabolism back on track and to support your liver, then you're going to want to join me for this next time. And yes, I will be doing it again next year. I love my hormones and I love my liver that much. Now, before we get into a lot of the liver conversation, I just want to take a mini moment and thank you from the bottom of my heart. The podcast is gaining more momentum and it's all thanks to you. I see you sharing the episodes on Instagram and Facebook, and I wake up almost every day to an email from my community sharing their insights about a recent episode. As I mentioned on the last episodes, I am shouting out your wins and shouting you out in general. And one particular listener is Dr. Elisa Song. And I'm excited to share a shout out for her win that she shared on iTunes. So here is her iTunes review. So Dr. Song wrote, as a board certified pediatrician, Dr. Snyder is my go-to for safe, effective, and proven essential oils for healthy, happy, thriving children and families. I can't wait to hear from the expert in the field. Thank you, Mariza, for sharing your wisdom and passion with us. Well, thank you so much, Elisa, for sharing your review. I'm happy to hear that you are using oils on your patients and seeing such a great benefit with all of the children that you get to serve. Now, if you would love to get a shout out on the show, you can reach out to me via Insta at Dr. Mariza or Facebook, or simply reviewing the podcast on iTunes or whatever podcast platform you plug into. When you share it, you are opening the door for someone to become the CEO of their health. So thank you so much again. All right, let's really get into the meat of this topic today, which is all about that liver. Did you know that your liver is the largest organ inside of the body, and it performs over 500 vital functions, along with some of the most important detoxification functions in the body? Now, the major functions of the liver include, and these are just the major ones because I'm not listing all 500 today. One, bile production. This is super important for breaking down fats, cholesterol, and vitamins, absorbing and metabolizing bilirubin, and that is formed by the breakdown of hemoglobin. The iron released from hemoglobin is stored in the liver or bone marrow and then is used to make the next generation of blood cells, supporting blood clots, right? So vitamin K is necessary for creating certain coagulants and to help blood clot. And bile is essential for vitamin K absorption. Fat metabolism helps to break down fat. Hormone metabolism, which is clearly what we're talking about today, metabolizing carbohydrates, vitamin and mineral storage, helps metabolize proteins, filters the blood, production of the immune system function, and so much more. Now, when it comes down to hormone balance, this is really what's going on because the liver plays a big role. So the liver is responsible for filtering out mutated hormones. A person with a sluggish liver would be quite affected by the hormonal imbalance and would exhibit symptoms like this. So if your hormones are not being properly broken down and regulated by the liver, these are some of the things that you may be experiencing. Sleep and mental disturbances, sensitivity to medicine, irregular periods, depression, anxiety, hot flashes, fibroids, mental confusion, so brain fog, mood swings, other menopause-like symptoms, and chronically fatigued. And that's really important to know. These are some of the biggest signs. Now, one of the most important functions of the liver when it comes to hormones is the breakdown and the removal of hormones. One particular that really shines bright is going to be estrogen. As you know, estrogen is the queen bee in our reproductive health, carrying out many functions itself, including mood support, growth, cognitive function, bone health, skin and cardiovascular health, and so much more. Did I even mention it's a key component to our menstrual cycle and our reproductive health every single month? Yes, that is estrogen. However, when estrogen is imbalanced, we all know that it can create all kinds of issues. Some of the ones that I mentioned with the sluggish liver, because when your liver is sluggish, you're going to experience more depression. That's estrogen. You're going to experience irregular periods. That's estrogen. Fibroids in the breast and uterine, that's estrogen. Hot flashes, estrogen. Cysts on the ovaries, you guessed it, estrogen. So those are all playing a role if we're not properly metabolizing those estrogen metabolites. Now, I want to specifically focus on the process of the liver in our female hormone balance, such as estrogen metabolism. What does that look like? If you've ever wondered, like, how does the liver even do its job, right? So there are two phases of liver detoxification. And phase 1 is known as oxidation. Phase 2 is known as conjugation. And in phase 1, the liver is using enzymes and vital nutrients and oxygen to break those toxins down. That's the process of oxidation, and it really turns those toxins into more soluble form in water so they can be excreted through the body, through the bowels and the kidneys. So they're excreted by the kidneys and the bowels. That's how we remove these toxins out of the body. Now, you should know that what makes things complicated here is that most toxins that come into the system are normally fat soluble. So therefore, we have to have the liver step in to break it down in phase 1 to actually get the job done. Now, did you know that the chemicals produced in phase 1 are more toxic than those which are originally entering into the body? And really what that means is that a lot of things can disrupt phase 1, right? If we're not taking care of our liver and it's not getting to do the phase 1 into phase 2 job properly, we have got a problem on our hands. So this phase of liver detoxification is often inhibited by nutritional deficiency. So if you're not getting all of the B vitamins, the antioxidants, the cofactors, the minerals that you need to run this phase in the liver, we definitely have some issues. Also, excessive toxic exposure, alcohol consumption. If your liver is having to address alcohol all the time, it has to set aside doing this other work because alcohol breakdown, because alcohol is such a crazy poison. And I've drank my share of alcohol over the years for sure, but just letting you know that that job is the liver's job. And if it's already getting bombarded with other issues, then your hormones aren't going to get broken down. Low protein intake, because protein is so key for enzymatic activity to break down these toxins. And then medications like acetaminophen, over-the-counter anti-inflammatories like Tylenol and Excedrin, those are going to deplete glutathione levels, which is necessary for this detoxification process. So to free itself of toxins produced by phase 1 detoxification, the liver has to do phase 2, which is called conjugation. In this phase, those oxidized chemicals, which I told you are more dangerous than when they came into the system, are combined with things like sulfur amino acids, like the methyl group, or organic acids, and then excreted in bile and urine. Both phases are dependent and on these very specific vital substances and enzymes, which are required to activate catalysts for toxic conversion. So that is really the nuts and bolts of what's going on. Now, there are 6 unique pathways in the phase 2 system. Each one is responsible for converting a different set of substances, such as estrogen, thyroid, histamines, nicotine, bacterial toxins, caffeine, heavy metals. All of these have different pathways. Now, I'm not going to go into all the 6 pathways today, but just know that the complexity of phase 1 and phase 2 happens throughout the day, every single day, right? Your liver doesn't get a break. It's always working through this stuff. It's always managing toxins. It's always managing the breakdown of hormones. It's always managing the breakdown of proteins and fat metabolism, all of it. And so what we want to talk about is what it takes to really ensure that your liver is getting what it needs so that your hormones are being metabolized properly and moving out of the body safely. And estrogen's the really big culprit here, because what I know about estrogen is that we really need to use it and lose it. We don't want estrogen lingering around the body. That's why we don't want those fake estrogens either. We don't want the xenoestrogens. When xenoestrogens are floating around, they are more persistent. Kind of think of them as persistent, nagging pollutants in the body, but they cause and wreak so much havoc, leading to things like cardiovascular disease and potentially even cancer. So we want to be really mindful, and the step really has to happen with what is going on with your liver. Now, the first thing I want to emphasize is that your liver needs love on the daily. As much as a liver detox kit can support you, that's pretty much the equivalent of taking your liver on vacation and then sending it back to the real world after a 3 to 5 day break. And let me tell you, I have done that before. I have sent my liver on a detox. I actually flew all the way to Switzerland with my mom to a clinic to do a liver detox, and then got home, had about 5 days off, and the next weekend was my bachelorette party in Las Vegas. I don't know why I chose Vegas. I just really wanted to go have a big last hurrah. And let me say that I threw up the entire weekend. It didn't take much to send my liver into a spiral that weekend. I had given myself, my liver, this vacation, and then I went back into the real world, and let me tell you, it totally backfired. So your body and your liver need more than just a vacation to get well. This is about creating a lifestyle that you implement daily. So without further ado, here are the 10 ways to love your liver and your hormones every single day. Number 1, most important, I can't emphasize this enough, you've got to eat a plant-focused diet. We want to avoid a diet high in saturated fat, refined carbohydrates, and sugars and alcohol. You want to make sure that you're eating a ton of fiber. Did you know that the average adult only consumes about 11 grams of fiber every single day? And we need somewhere between 40 and 50 grams of fiber. So we gotta kick it up. And that fiber can be done with green leafy vegetables. It can be done with legumes, with seeds, with nuts. Making sure that we get that fiber is going to be so, so important. Also, clean protein is big as well. So fish, poultry is great. Healthy fats, and we're talking about those good fats, those monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, such as olive oil, avocados, seeds, fish, especially salmon. I'm such a salmon lover. Oh my gosh. I love salmon. It's in my detox. We've been eating a lot of salmon those last week or so. We've had salmon, pureed butternut squash, and we've been doing sauteed chard, sauteed kale, arugula salads with pomegranates and olive oil. It's been such a fun experience. These are all foods that I love, and to get to be disciplined about eating them every day has been so great. So make sure that you're eating a plant-focused diet. Number 2 is vitamin B complex. So a good quality vitamin B complex can make all the difference. This vitamin series opens up the detoxification pathways. And if you don't feel like it's doing its work, make sure that you get the methylated form of folate and B12. Number 3, this is not going to be of any surprise, but it's all about moving your body. Your liver and your body and your hormones love when you move it. So exercise consistently, and that helps to burn triglycerides and for fuel, which can also reduce a fatty liver. Today we live in a time where people under the age of 30 are getting diagnosed with fatty livers left and right. And that is such a scary prospect. When your liver is fatty, that means that it is sluggish and it's not able to do its job. Number 4, this is pretty much known, but I'm going to say it anyway, and that is avoid toxins. So toxins definitely injure liver cells. I know that's their job. Your liver cells are designed to break down toxins, but even your liver can get its booty kicked. So making sure that you are limiting direct contact with cleaning products, aerosol products, insecticides, chemicals, additives, you know the deal. Making sure that you're avoiding those things, avoiding smoke. Remember, if you're looking for non-toxic solutions and recipes for green cleaning, medicine cabinet, personal care, my Smart Mom's Guide to Essential Oils book really has so much of what you're looking for. Number 5, use alcohol responsibly, especially right now. I know it's the holidays, that champagne is pumping, the eggnog with the rum and bourbon is going. I get it. But alcoholic beverages can create a lot of health issues. Not only does it just damage and destroy liver cells, but it will scar your liver and lead to liver cirrhosis. So just be really, really mindful. Definitely worth meeting with a practitioner, seeing how much moderation you can get away with. And in some cases, depending on how damaged a liver can be, it may be that you got to quit it entirely. I'm not saying that anyone's in that space at the moment, but that is just a big consideration. Number 6 is you want to make sure that you're eating liver cleansing foods. So yes, there are liver cleansing foods out there. Dandelion greens and lots of bitter greens contain compounds that aid and cleanse the liver. Avocados have been shown to protect the liver against toxic overload. Like you needed to give me a reason to eat more avocados. And then turmeric has been found to protect the liver against toxins. In fact, turmeric is one of the most powerful liver cleansers out there, and it's phenomenal for supporting the phase 2 detoxification process when it comes to breaking down toxins and hormones. Number 7, this is one you may not know, but you got to be mindful with fruit. So fruit has a very specific type of sugar in it called fructose, and we don't use fructose in the body. We actually use glucose in the body. We use glucose to break down into ATP inside of our mitochondria, but fructose has to actually be broken in the liver first. So the liver must break it down before it goes to glucose to then be used in our mitochondria to create energy in the body. Now, I love fruit. I think it's great for all the minerals, the vitamins, the antioxidants, but too much can be a burden on the liver. So focus on low glycemic fruits like berries, citruses, and apples. On my hormone detox, the only fruits that are allowed are berries, avocado, olives, citruses, apples, and pomegranate seeds. I think those are it, because I really wanted to make sure that we limited our sugar intake to give our liver and our insulin levels an opportunity to reset. Number 8, increase choline. It's estimated that only 10% of Americans meet or exceed their recommended daily choline intake. Now, choline-rich foods can include eggs and liver. Yeah, eat liver to give your liver a boost. What it's designed to do is it helps to support the gut, and it helps to ensure that your liver is working properly. Now, you can supplement with choline. Usually it's phosphatidylcholine. It can be found in any supplement store, but just be mindful of that to increase your choline levels. Number 9, ease up on the medications whenever possible. I think we knew that, right? We know that your liver has got to work that out. So frequently used over-the-counter meds can absolutely do damage on the liver. When I was struggling with chronic migraines for over 15 years, I was on so many over-the-counter drugs, and I ended up getting a lot of stomach issues because of it. I just tore my stomach up, but I can't even imagine what I was doing to my liver, because it was this silent situation that was happening. I'm always concerned about what has happened because of my liver, because of taking all that acetaminophen, all that Tylenol. So just be mindful. Before any medication can be effective, it has to process through the liver. And these over-the-counter drugs, I find that we're taking them like candy so often, just making sure that try to avoid them if possible. That's why I love oils. Oils are a lot less taxing on the liver. Your liver does have to break them down, but it's nowhere near having to take medicines by any stretch of the imagination. Oils are so much safer, and they really bring the body back to balance. And guess what? There are oils that can help support the liver, which brings me to number 10. Use essential oils to reduce your toxic burden and support detoxification pathways. Now, essential oils can not only help you reduce your toxic exposure by using them instead of toxic cleaning products, personal care products like shampoo, lotion, deodorant, makeup, all that stuff, and even over-the-counter meds. Now, with more than 70,000 different kinds of chemical constituents found in essential oils, many of which mimic the molecules used in our bodies for support, maintenance, and regeneration, these are really such a great solution for helping to get our body back on track. Now, as you know, we have been relying, my husband and I, and all of my family have been relying on oils for over 6 years to address common everyday health emergencies. So if you are looking for recipes for cleaning products, and making over your medicine cabinet, along with my top 25 essential oil list. Again, grab the Smart Mom's Guide. It's under $11 on Amazon. Sometimes it's even cheaper. And I will make sure to link to the show notes. For me, the number one reason why I even started using essential oils was because I had really severe estrogen dominance. I knew my liver was getting its butt kicked. I knew that I was bombarding my body every single day with toxins. What does the average woman slather and apply over 100 toxins, toxic chemicals every day onto her skin and on her body? And I knew that we needed to change everything. So I came home one day with a bunch of oils, and I had some pretty basic recipes. I made over the whole house. I started with the medicine cabinet, I moved to the cleaning cabinet, and then the hardest thing to break up with was clearly the personal care items. I had my favorite lotions, I had my favorite deodorants, I had my favorite makeup that was super toxic. So all of that had to go. It took me a little bit longer to get rid of it, but I'm so grateful that I did. I have a healthy liver, my hormones are back on track. And I know that those toxins weren't just affecting my hormones, but they were affecting my neurochemistry. They were affecting my gut. They were affecting my cells, my immune system. And it wasn't just going to be my hormones that got back on track, but I wanted to focus on the entire body. And that's why I am so committed to educating you on oils too, and more natural solutions, so that you give your body that healing that it really deserves. Now, I have also used oils to love up on my liver, and here are my top 4 favorite essential oils that I love to getting your liver back on track. Number 1 is rosemary. Rosemary is a love your liver kind of essential oil, but it's also a love your brain, a love your immune system. Rosemary is like one of those oils that has been known since the dawn of time. Now, this oil helps to flush harmful toxins and cleanse the blood. It's known to overcome liver disorders. It stimulates the production and flow of bile, which is essential for fat metabolism and detoxification, and reduces plasma liver enzymes, which have been linked to type 2 diabetes. Research shows that daily use protects against chemical-induced liver injury. Isn't that awesome? The next one is geranium. This essential oil supports normal kidney function and helps discharge toxins from the liver. It dilates the bile duct for liver detoxification and helps to regulate hormones. And that's why geranium is such a beautiful hormone oil. It's my Superwoman blend. It's in a lot of hormone recipes because it's great for supporting the adrenals, the liver, and the hormones. Next is helichrysum. Now, helichrysum is not one of the cheapest essential oils, but I have to say, I think my liver deserves it. So this essential oil helps to clean the blood and acts as a chelating agent for metals, chemicals, and toxins. It also stimulates the function of liver cells. Research indicates that it has powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant, antiviral, and antibacterial properties as well. I call it the liquid Band-Aid. We never travel without helichrysum. Any gashes or cuts, that is my go-to oil. And then the next one is going to be turmeric. Now, turmeric is one of my favorite brand new essential oils. I always used to take it in a supplement form, but now that it's in an oil form, I am on the train. Major compounds like alpha-turmerone, beta-turmerone, and curcumin and sequiterpenes have the ability to pass through the blood-brain barrier, promoting oxygen in the brain. They are also great at helping to detoxify the body, help to stimulate the liver, and help with the phase 2 liver detoxification. Also, turmeric is great for soothing inflamed tissue and stimulating the endocrine glands. And lastly, it enhances the production of glutathione and other antioxidants to improve fat and sugar metabolism. And again, that stage 2 liver detoxification process, the conjugation process that we talked about earlier. And then second to last is frankincense. I know you're not surprised. Frankincense oil is the home to a lot of esters, sequiterpenes, diterpenes, monoterpenes, alpha and beta pinene, oh my gosh, D-limonene, so many good things here. Again, helping to eliminate toxins from the liver, the kidneys, and possesses a stimulating and soothing effect for the brain and the body. It's like one of my favorite anti-inflammatory oils. And then last but surely not least is citrus oils. Citrus oils act as a liver decongestant. It has diuretic properties and powerfully cleanses the body. And what's so great is that you can use all or some of these oils to really get the job done. But based on the research that I've done for liver detoxification support, I create a blend that is designed to be applied topically to support your liver on a daily basis. And this is the Love Your Liver Roller Blend. So we're at the point where I'm going to share my liver essential oil blends. So this Love Your Liver Roller Blend is a 10 ml roller. It has 2 drops of rosemary, 3 drops of geranium, 3 drops of turmeric, 7 drops of frankincense, 7 drops of helichrysum. If you can't get access to helichrysum or it's not in your price point, you can do lavender instead. So again, 2 drops of rosemary, 3 drops of geranium, 3 drops of turmeric, 7 drops of frankincense, and 7 drops of helichrysum just helichrysum or lavender. And then you top it off with fractionated coconut oil, apply literally over the liver, just a little kind of rub the roller over the liver every night before going to bed. And that's just a really great way for helping to support your liver. Now, I've got a couple other recipes I'm really excited to share, things that I do on a weekly basis or even a monthly basis. The one that I do on a kind of monthly or twice a month basis is a detox bath soak recipe. Now, this is actually from Chapter 9 in the Smart Mom's Guide to Essential Oil book. Now, the detox ingredients is this: 1 cup of sea salt, 1 cup of Epsom salts, a half a cup of baking soda, and 1 cup of apple cider vinegar. Now, you can cut this recipe in half if you want. So a half a cup of sea salt, a half a cup of Epsom salts, a quarter cup of baking soda, and a half a cup of apple cider vinegar. You can kind of play with this. This is kind of the ultimate detox recipe here, so feel free to play with that. And then the cleansing blend, the essential oil cleansing blend, is 2 drops of rosemary, 5 drops of grapefruit, and 5 drops of frankincense. So what you're going to do is combine all of the dry ingredients in a bowl, and then combine all the essential oils with the vinegar. Fill up the bathtub with the hottest water you can stand. Add the dry ingredients, the vinegar and essential oils in the tub, mix with your hand, soak in the detox bath for 20 to 25 minutes. Any longer, then you start to reabsorb some of those toxins that are released, and then rinse off the remaining salt on your body in the shower. Now, I told you a little bit ago, rosemary and lemon all have purifying and cleansing properties, not only for your skin and your digestive system, but mostly for your liver and your metabolism. So we want to make sure to support your liver there. And then last but not least is going to be my liver detox water. Now, this is, if you're looking for just something to sip on every single day, this is in a 2-liter glass container, glass jug. You're going to do a half a red ruby grapefruit juiced, 2 Meyer lemons juiced, one juiced and one sliced into wheels, because I like when water infusions are pretty. So slice one into wheels, a drop of grapefruit essential oil, and you can do a drop of grapefruit and lemon if you prefer, and then 1 tea bag of dandelion tea. So what you're first going to do is you're just going to make that 8-ounce cup of dandelion tea and then let it cool down. Then with 1.5 liters of water, you're going to add the juice of the grapefruit and the lemons. You're going to then add the oils and the dandelion tea. Refrigerate that for 30 minutes or 3 hours, 30 minutes to 3 hours, and then just keep on drinking it. You can actually get away with drinking this detox water for several days. You can refill it a couple of times. That's what's so great about water detoxification waters, or waters in general, water infusions. You just get to keep adding water for several days and really enjoy that. So those are my 3 big takeaway essential oil liver loving blends and recipes. I hope that what you take away from this particular episode today is that your liver needs daily love. There's a lot of ways that you can begin to create those lifestyles, right? Eating more fiber, using your oils, reducing your toxic load, getting your B vitamins in, exercising. All of those things are going to play a role. And all of those things, guess what? It's so much more than just supporting the liver. It's supporting all of the body. So that is what is going on. So I just want to say thank you again for stopping by and checking out the Essentially You podcast. My next episode coming up is going to be with Dave Asprey. Now, Dave is the owner and the founder of Bulletproof Coffee. He is a dear friend of mine, and he has a new book coming out called Game Changers: What Leaders and Innovators and Mavericks Do to Kick Butt in Life. So I can't wait to have Dave on. It's going to be a really amazing special episode to be able to bring him on. And as I mentioned before, that I love shouting you out. So keep on sharing the love on Insta, on social, on iTunes, so that we can continue to serve women with all this information, so that you know how to support your liver, you know how to support your hormones, and that you're really creating healthy lifestyles for here and for many, many years to come. Until then, have a wonderful holiday, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.